it's Bunny, and today I am doing a pretty requested tour of this filming room right before Dogman and I dismantle it. I do feel really sad to be taking this room down, and I certainly will miss it. And I still remember when I first moved in here with Dogman and we painted this room all up, and I still remember that I got this paint from Walmart and it was actually called tea stained. So it is like I just splashed sweet tea all over the walls. We have been getting settled into our new place and it is a lot of fun, and this room to me is like a treasure trove of some of my absolute favorite items, and I definitely want to give them a new home in my new space. Does anybody else like have trouble like letting stuff go? It's so silly. It's I'm actually like not letting anything go, but just changes are not like my best thing. I don't know. I will just warn you guys, like if dolls freak you out, this will probably not be a video for you. I'm trying to think if I have any taxidermy in this room. I do have like a couple of bones and a couple of skulls, not human. So if stuff like that bugs you or bothers you, you are not gonna enjoy this video. But you know what? Let's get started. I'm gonna be kind of like walking around the room, flipping around the camera. Lots of dolls, as you guys can see. But I wanted to flip it around on the back camera because obviously the quality is better. Also, you guys are gonna see some stuff. Look at how bad I messed up. You guys, I wanted to do Can It Curl with witch fingers, and I just never got around to it. So now I'm putting it in one of my Halloween boxes. Hopefully this year, in the month of October, I can do it. We are just gonna blast through this part of the room really quick that you guys really have probably maybe never seen before, since I'm always, once again, filming this away. 99.9% of everything in here came from uncommon objects, including this desk. I love it. This is absolutely one of my favorite shades of blue. I love this shade. I also love this shade of teal. It's amazing. There's my camera that I should know how to film better with, but I don't. I keep meaning to move these pair of shoes. They are the Oil Slick Litas from Jeffrey Campbell. I love these, and this is my beloved, you guys remember that rant from a couple years ago? This is my beloved Estee perfume. I only have a couple of bottles left, and this is like my comfort smell. I know I've made a video about this before. This is just a really weird long story. I never really apply it. I only smell it. Isn't that odd? And I have a couple of Swamp Queen palettes here on my desk. Also this, which I've been meaning to do. It's a really cool, it's called the Candy Crush Cleanser. It's like a face thing. This is now not a room tour. This is just junk on my desk. My two lamps, and if you want to start a YouTube channel, this is always my highest recommendation because you can get these at Joann's, Michael's, tons of craft stores, and these have been with me and my YouTube channel since day one. They are two Ott lamps. That one has some really lovely looking stuff on it. If you want to start a channel and you want to get some great lighting, these Ott craft lamps, you can get them pretty cheap with like a 50% off coupon, and they do the trick, as you guys can see, for however many years I've been on YouTube. I have this little porcelain baby sitting here. Love him. And also an antique St. Michael card. Antique like candle holder thing. I swear. Oh yeah, I do have two. There's the other one. We'll get to that in just a minute. Also this, which I only have because of you guys. Whoa, look at my reflection. It's like a funhouse mirror. Fun. This is my 1 million subscriber gold play button from YouTube, and I love it so much, and I only have that obviously because of the Swamp family. I love architectural salvage. I've got a ton of that. So this was on somebody's house at some point, and now it's hanging up on my wall. Also, surprise, I want to do a Can It Curl with Barbie dolls. So I've got a bunch. I've got a big sack of dolls that I've been collecting for months from the thrift store. One day we will do it. You guys remember this was a Does This Thing Really Work? It's a miniature little crane claw machine. DVDs of a Haunting, one of my favorite shows ever. For some reason, some silly string. A couple of baby dolls down here. Hello. Hello, you've got a cord in front of your face. And I have this gigantic carved wooden cross right there. Over here, I've got a penny board, which I have been meaning to exercise with for 1,000 years. I've got a couple of antique photos, which were sent to me in Swamp Family mail. I've got this beautiful illustration, which was sent to me in Swamp Family mail. And I have this handbag, which I have forever wanted to take to a meet and greet. I've always wanted to have Swamp Family members sign a bag, like whoever comes to my meet and greet that day, with like a white Sharpie or something. So I bought this at the thrift store. I've been meaning to do it forever. This is like a rustic chippy file cabinet sort of thing. It's just like a bunch of drawers, which I had originally intended to use as makeup storage, but I don't know, it might be lead paint, so that might kill me. I don't know. I decided that that was a bad idea. So now I just have, I have some Swamp Family art in here. Look at how amazing this is. Somebody made this for me on a piece of recycled foam, but I keep a stash in here of Swamp Family art that I want to have framed. I've just got some random cool antique items, another religious cabinet card, and an old bottle, and this is something that I love. It is a bunch of antique doilies that somebody like strung together like this. I've got this, which is so cool. This was sent to me in Swamp Family mail, and it's actually made of beeswax. It's like a skull and crossbones. This, which I've been meaning to use to put rings in. I've got this adorable little baby here, Swamp Family mail, and this, which I've been saving for something special. It's like a little notebook that was made out of an antique photo. I've got another stash of my precious Estee fragrances. I have this, which I love. I love antique quilts and just all sorts of textures. That is honestly what fascinates me the most. This is, you know, just an antique quilt of some sort. I think it's actually like a table runner, but I just love things that are tattered like this. To me, it just tells a story. It's like a piece of history. I have this, which is a antique painting of peaches. I got that because it reminds me of Deadwood. You guys may remember seeing these dolls before. They live in this bucket right here on top of a ladder. I've made like a bizarre little sculpture here. These are called the Creep Sisters, and they came together, and I bought them separately, but they were like living together, and so I thought that they needed to be together forever. So here they are. This is like a jar of random stuff. That freaks me out, so I never look at that side, but I loved everything else so much that I had to have it. I just don't look at the other side. I love that color. It's just so beautiful. I have very, very eclectic tastes, and either you appreciate it or you're like, what is wrong with you, bunny? Moving to this wall. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is absolutely one of my other favorite pieces. It is this antique framed portrait of a young boy. My mom and dad got that for me. Pretty much everything that you touch in my house, you have to be careful because paint will fleck off. It just keeps like deteriorating with time, and I love it. This is another one of my favorite pieces. It says walk in love, and this is an antique, I think it's embroidery, I don't know, but I love the staining on it, and this was made in 1877. Very, very old. This is a doll that I absolutely love. It is definitely like one of my newer pieces. That doll is probably from the 50s or 60s. And I got this from a really cool place here in Houston called Texas Art Asylum, and they sell all sorts of items like this for people to transform and make into art, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Up next is a piece of art assemblage that I have, and it's just made out of, you know, like doorknobs, architectural salvage, letters and postcards in the back there. Hopefully you guys can see. And then it's got a doll in the middle. I think she is just gorgeous. And then, hi guys! One of my favorite antique mirrored pieces. Really cool, chippy, white paint. And I love mirrors like this. I'm so sad you can't get things like this anymore. But they're actually kind of dangerous because that is like mercury glass. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the walls first, and then we will get into some of these cabinets. So this is kind of like one of my first collections that I got. Dogman actually got this shadow box for me, so that's what the whole thing looks like. And you can actually open it up, of course, and I've placed all of these items in here myself. Some of them you guys actually sent me in Swamp Family mail, like this vintage trick-or-treat bag. Ooh, it smells in here. It smells musty. This is called Tourniquet Baby, and I think Tourniquet Baby is maybe a little bit moldy, so that is why she lives in here. I also love collecting old fishing lures, things that have to do with fishing. It reminds me of my grandpa. So I just have a bunch of cool stuff in here. All the bones and everything, I would just like to say I bought them all from Uncommon Objects. They were all sourced ethically. They were just found. This is a little dollhouse. I think it's supposed to be like a stove or a kitchen cabinet. I don't know. I've got a really cool old paper mache toy snake, a toy soldier with no arms, no head, a spool. I collect the number 8. And then, do you guys remember either of these? I feel like I posted them on Instagram like 1,000 years ago. So it's like Potato Man, I think, or Eggplant Man. I can't remember what his name was. I think that's the potato. And then that's Saint Joseph and an antique photo, old light bulb. I got this football player because it reminds me of my great Uncle Tom. Paintbrushes, a small little coin purse, and this is some old beaded trim. I also collect old paintbrushes. I got a lot of collections. This is some sort of ledger. I just loved the handwriting, and this is like an old picture slide of some sort, another number 8, and this guy does not want to stand up, but he is another antique picture. So all of that stuff just lives in here, and I keep meaning to add more objects to it, but I never find the time. And then up here I have some dolls and stuff that were sent to me in Swamp Family mail. I could not part with the vintage treasure troll, even though I feel like it sort of like doesn't go with the vibe of the rest of this kind of stuff. Up next is my beautiful backdrop, and I'm just gonna kind of consider all of this on the wall. I don't remember when I said that this was a quilt somewhere. But people thought it was like paint strips or pictures. Like a bunch of different Swamp Family members thought that this was all different things, but this is the first antique quilt that I ever purchased. And once again, it just has a lot of different fabrics in it, a lot of velvets. I love it. I cannot wait to hang it at the new house. And then I have this giant tools sign. This was off of a hardware store. It was like a hanging, you know, advertorial sign. I got that because it reminds me of my grandpa. And then up here, I just have a lot of knickknacks that have been part of my backdrop. So this is one of my absolute favorite pieces. I'm not 100% sure what this photographic process is called, but somebody along the way did come and add paint to it on her dress to give it like this ghostly ethereal, you know, the dress almost looks like it glows because the paint is so white. I honestly love paintings that are torn or falling apart, like stained, just like the more kind of like dilapidated they are, the more that I love them. I call that Ghost Baby, and I love it. Here I have an antique top hat. Up here I just have, you know, some bottles with feathers, bottles, another antique painting that has been stabbed or poked along the way, antique photographs, of course, a baby doll head, some candles, some books. I've got a lot of bottles here. This was sent to me by a Swamp Family member. I've had it forever. It is a tube that has forest materials in it. It's like a forest where they live, and they put like a bunch of different matter in it. I love it. Paintbrushes, of course. Some more little, you know, tintype pictures, more architectural salvage, little pieces of glass, an arrowhead, a ruler which measures grain. Actually, it's like a farm ruler. More broken baby heads, little baby dolls, bottles, This one is like a newer doll. I just love it so much because it's rubbery. I've got some old candles here and a shell. Another little bottle that somebody sent me that has like some little bones in it. I've got this big bone here. I don't know what it's from. It might be like a cow. This big bottle, which has a bone necklace that someone made for me. A bottle of old light bulbs. I just love the way that that looks. Paperweight with a bug inside of it. A geode, headless baby, another baby, this like weird rubbery lizard, which doesn't belong, but I love it so much I left it here. This amazing cat, which is like a little tribute to Man Cat, and a Swamp family member sent this to me as well. He's like a little folk art sort of like stuffed animal. I love him so much. He has so much character. Then you can see some more of the quilt here. So it's just tattered and it's really, really neat looking. I don't know what this is, but I just love the look of it. I think it's maybe something for separating like fibers and yarn or something like that. I don't know. I love these. I think I have, I know I have 2 of them. But it is a fly swatter that somebody attached a bunch of jingle bells to. Love it. And then I have 2 of these that match. I'm sure you guys have seen those in the back of videos. It's just architectural salvage. And then I have this piece up here, which is also a piece of architectural salvage. And then not too much on this wall. I've got this, which is paintbrushes that somebody strung together. I think that that is really neat. This is one of my first, actually I do think that this is my first antique item that I ever purchased for myself. It is a beautiful paper flower sculpture. And I think I've shown this to you guys before. We're getting a pretty nasty glare in here. It is from 1875 and it won first place, and it was like, you know, an entry into some sort of, I don't know what that says, industrial association. This is one of the first antique photos that I ever bought for myself, and I call him Ghost Man because he's so faded and worn over time. Here's something else that I collect, which is cheese graters. That's odd, I know, but I just love the texture and the look of them. Here I have a assemblage piece that someone made of a bunch of old photographs. I have a marionette puppet. On the wall I have some more of those plastic dolls like so. One right there. I've got another small little antique mirror. Hi. Love it. And then this I never really filled up the way that I wanted to. Now I will, since I'm moving. But I have a bunch of like little toy items that people have given me, and somebody sent me that cat. Here's basically where we left off, because there we are again with the hi golden play button. Here I have just another large piece of architectural salvage. It needs to be hung, but it's not gonna be hung here. And then here I have a crate, which is pretty cool, and it's got a trumpet inside of it. I know that this was in an Uncommon Objects haul. Ta-da! And there's like a little picture back there. And then my little album, which has fallen apart, but I still love it. Down here, well, actually this whole furniture piece. So this is just a large, I don't know, like twine wheel. Once again, I don't really know what purpose this served, but it's just like a giant wheel of string. Once again, I just love the texture of it. And this is like Working Baby, who looks like he's got his foot on the crank there. And I just have some little dolls and a little bracelet and 2 arms, and they came to me like that with the string wrapped around them. An old paintbrush, another piece of architectural salvage. I love this baby. She is so beautiful. I love her hair. She is sitting on an old copy of Count of Monte Cristo, which is one of my favorite books of all time. If you've never read it, you've got to read it. And then this, I have this doll. Somebody sent it to me. I love it. It has googly eyes. He's like a soldier baby. I love him. I got this hat at the thrift store, and I'm still planning on doing something cool with it. I just love the shape. I think I paid like $1 for it. This is like a large, I do not know what this is, honestly. I really don't know what function this served, but I'm gonna fill it with like cool stuff. I don't know, maybe like doll parts or something in the new house. This was like a piece of architectural salvage. It used to be a room divider, but once again, I love this color. I think it's looking a little washed out on camera, but it is like that same light green, light blue color that I love. And then down here, I just have a lot of baby dolls. A lot of them were sent to me in Swamp Family Mail. Some of them I bought myself. There's like some old photographs in the back that were sent to me in Swamp Family Mail. I've got this old canoe because it reminds me of Dead Man, one of my favorite movies. Look at this doll. Somebody sent this to me and I absolutely love it. I think that he is from the 1960s, but he is Frankenstein baby. And then this is like an old pen cushion that I bought. Once again, I just love the coloration and the texture. I always say the patina. I think that sounds like so silly every time I say that, like I'm some sort of like antique dealer. I love this texture too, like this sort of like metal, what can we call that? I don't know, but I love when things look like that. Let's go ahead and flip to this side of the room. Let's look at all of these other babies. So this is just like another large cabinet. Oh, stuff that I've got in here. Just a lot of pictures, a lot of dolls. This might bother some people. I don't know. Once again, it was obtained cruelty-free. So this is a horse skull, and I love it because it reminds me of the infamous folk tale of Old Bess. It was like in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or something, like ye old thing from my childhood. But if you don't know what it is, I'm sure you can find a narration. I'll see if I can find a link because I know people narrated those Alvin Schwartz stories. And then this is just like a blue desk drawers, which I've never used for some reason. This was actually from my Tarte shoot a couple of years ago when I did the shoot for the Tartlet palette, and I was like representing the free spirit. So that is what this stuff is from. Somebody sent this bottle to me in Swamp Family Mail. It is an old acid bottle. I just have like a bunch of weird stuff in here, right? So I've got this giant like glass vessel, and I put a picture in there, and it's got, I don't know, some like skull fragment that was found. It's like, once again, this is all like animals, so I don't know. Hopefully it's not going to freak anybody out, but you know, people who work at Uncommon Objects, they often go to like very rural areas where animals pass away of natural causes, and then they just bring in the bone fragments. And then I have some of my extensions in here, which I just have displayed. I've got little bitty dolls here, doll arms, little babies, baby heads, a beautiful painting that somebody did for me and sent it to me in Swamp Family Mail. I've got a bunch of headless babies here. This one, which has a bunch of really cool joints. Another headless baby. This baby is called Sheriff Wooblehead. So as you can see, he has a very woobly head, and he is the sheriff of this here town. Another ledger that I have. I love the penmanship, some old photos, a little teapot that somebody sent me, and just some more. I love this blue color. I love blue books. Somebody sent that to me. And so then just every nook and cranny is full of like old mirrors, old dolls, and this is a Stife alligator puppet. This is actually a really cool item. It is some antique beadwork, so it's actually like leaves. I'm sure you guys can see, and it's just like a really long piece. I'm gonna try and hang it somehow. I don't know how to hang it without destroying it, so that's why it's just kind of been sitting here. Another cubby of dolls, glass bottles, doll parts, doll heads. Isn't that one neat? That one was sent to me. Down here I have another bone and a lot of old books, and this was my grandpa's. Some old glasses, an old doll. I've got a dome here with some doll parts in it. and just little pictures and coins. And here I've got more. Once again, I really like want to do more with this, but it's another like little cubby crate. And right now I've just got a lot of little bottles and baby dolls. This is like a jar that I started gathering items in. So it's just got pictures and crystals and a toy train. I kept this trim because I thought it was really pretty, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. So it's just been sitting here for like 4 years. I haven't thrown it away. You got more dolls, more little silver trays, bottles, bits of slag glass. I love those as well. Another doll that is sort of falling apart, but I love it anyway. This is actually an antique hat box, and it came with that hat all the way over there. I've got this adorable sleepy looking stuffed puppy and this little army guy. I think I bought him in California one time. A stack of old photographs, and I think there is some old postcards in there as well. And then this, of course, is full of more babies and baby heads, baby parts. And who remembers Alfred? Do you guys remember him? He used to go everywhere with me. His squished little peanut baby body. I love him so much. But years ago, a Swamp family member sent Alfred a girlfriend. So then he kind of like retired and he's been living down here with her. She's so cute. Over here is a pile of dolls. And these are some that just arrived to me, so I didn't like organize them yet, you know what I mean? A doll and another doll and more dolls. That one I sort of turned into a Clockwork Orange baby, and more dolls and little ladder and a little high chair that I love the color of. Thought it would be perfect for dolls. Here's a doll that a Swamp family member made of me, and I absolutely love it. She is so sassy, so sassy. And she even comes with her very own winged gator friend. So cute, so sassy. These doll arms are from Marzia. She sent me this in a swap that we did a couple years ago. This is slime making supplies. Also slime making supplies. Slime making supplies. Candles, bowls, stuff that probably shouldn't be shoved under this piece of furniture. And I think this is our very last thing in here. So this is like a gigantic, I really don't know what purpose this furniture serves, but here it is. Really loved the look of this. I love this like lattice metal, and it's got a lot of cool stuff in here and a lot of things that were given to me in Swamp family mail, like this jar that says "We love you, Bunny," and it's got a bunch of reasons why this particular Swamp family member was sending love. This was the bouquet of dried flowers that once again I used in my tart shoot. I feel like it's so fragile, but I love it, and they honestly smell so good. Old books, old little toys. This is a little mouse. I love him. I've got some bracelets that were made for me. Swamp family. And then I've got just some more headless babies, baby heads on sticks, you know, just like a good assortment of baby heads everywhere. This was also sent to me in Swamp family mail. Look at how amazing this is. It's like a sequin gator with wings. So, so cool. I have this amazing pair of shoes that were painted for me by a Swamp family member. Look at how awesome those are. One is a gator and one is my face. This was sent to me. It's an alligator candle, which I will never burn because I love it so much. It's so beautiful. Some milk glass and some antique books, a large piece of slag glass, architectural salvage back here, some books, and a toy robot. This belt, which I think I wore at my New York City meet and greet. Got a baby doll head candle and just, you know, some more little books. And oh my gosh, here's this. This was such a sweet gift. I'll just show you guys. So I've got some more bottles and a Clockwork Orange gnome that somebody made for me. It has Alex's eyelash. It's pretty neat. Okay, last couple of things. Another collection of things that were made for me by Swamp Family, and these items mean so much to me. So this is actually like a little wall hanging that somebody made all of this stuff based off of things that I love, flying gators and ghosts. It says Graveyard Girl, Texas. I love it. And then this, someone stitched for me. It says give a gator its wings. And then this I love. I know I posted this on Instagram before, but a bunch of Swamp Family members got together and actually made this scrapbook and sent it to me. And there are a lot of messages in here. It just means so much. I love this stuff so much. So it's just a scrapbook full of different Swamp Family members and their pictures and messages, and thank you guys so much. That stuff means so much to me. I also posted her on Instagram once before, but she is like a robot doll. This is not a robot. She actually can walk. She can't walk in here because it's carpet, but you can actually wind her up with this little key, and she walks and moves her arms and legs. She's very fascinating. Here is some little taster cups for when Leanne and I do gross soda taste tests videos and stuff. And that is pretty much it, except for this rat that hangs on my door. This, which is my closet, which doesn't have much in it anymore. That is like the bubble wrap suit for mail unboxings. And I've got like some old stuff in here. And then a couple of coats. And that is it. That's it. I feel like my throat is so dry from talking and talking and talking and talking. I know this video is going to be super duper long. It might be boring to a lot of people, but enough people requested it, so I thought I would do it. And I feel like I've never really done like a house tour or anything like that, partially because I do feel like a lot of the things that I own, like I don't even know if this is going to disturb some people, you know, with like the horse skull and stuff like that. And like, once again, I'm not here to like disturb people. I love to share my life and share things that I like with you guys, but I'm not here to like cause anxiety or upset anybody. Like I've always said, I just love for Swamp Family members to be able to come on my channel and hang out and kind of just like de-stress, relax, just have fun, maybe a couple laughs, you know, but I'm definitely not here to like stress anybody out or upset anybody. So that is definitely the main reason why I have not and probably never will do a home tour, but I don't know, maybe like once we get all moved into our new place and stuff. I feel like that process has just been taking forever because I don't get to work on it very much because I'm so busy like working on everything else. Oh, I forgot to show you guys my desk drawers. But it's not really, I don't know, it's just like stuff you guys have seen before. Do you guys remember the world's weirdest back to school supply video? There are so many videos that I want to do. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, you know, like I feel like forever, like I wasn't really doing enough Does This Thing Really Works? And now I've started really doing Does This Thing Really Work again? But now I've kind of stopped doing like Can It Curl, World's Weirdest. I guess it's just because those videos I feel like take a little bit more like research. Now this is just becoming a vlog. I don't know. I don't ever want to lose like any series that I do on this channel. It's just like I need to find a better way to balance everything. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me. I'm so glad you guys liked my last Does This Thing Really Work video. And I asked you guys a couple of times if y'all wanted that like super disgusting food story time. It's gonna be a really short story, but it's very disgusting. So I'm hopefully gonna film that later this week, but it is like Valentine's Day. Anyway, I need to get out of this room because Dogman is basically like standing at the door waiting to help me pack all of this stuff up tonight. So literally this was like the last look at this room, and honestly like I am kind of on the verge of tears. Like, what is wrong with me? I guess it's just because I have like so many good memories being in here and hanging out with you guys and filming in here, and I see in a lot of you guys' comments that y'all feel like you will miss these different filming spaces, and I will too. But I don't know. I feel like it's good to change, and change is growth. And so I feel like even though it is sad and we will all miss it, it is also happy because we're not really losing anything, you know? Thank you guys so much for being here today and for watching. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I love you guys so much, and I will just sit here and talk to you guys forever if I don't press stop. So I'm gonna press stop, but I love you guys so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!